Hey there, toy collector friends and Star Trek fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that is the time travelling toy collector. And today we are looking at the latest release from Fanhome as part of their official Star Trek Starships collection, which came remarkably swiftly after the last entry, which was the USS Farragut. And this time I've got another free gift. Hilariously, I also got another letter telling me that it's not the right free gift, but it's the free gift they're sending me anyway. So, you know, I'll take it. I'll take any free gifts coming my way. And it is this Ratgino mug. Let's just see if you can, I'll zoom in so you can see what it says there. 100% Colombian Ratgino. What else do we say there? Grown on the green hills of Earth. Oh, bless. And imported by Hardcore Fenton Mud. How fabulous. So yeah, it's a nice steely effect mug, and it's not suitable for dishwashers. Use warm water only to wash it out. What's it say here on the bottom of this? Might just be what I've just told you. No, it is just the official Star Trek licensing information. But that, yeah, so that's the next free gift. Or it's my next free gift anyway, even if it's not the right one. And it's fine. It does everything it needs to do. It's a muggy mug, and that's fantastic. But we're not here to talk about muggy mugs, not specifically anyway. We're here to talk about shippy ships. And on this occasion, and I'm very excited about this, because on this occasion it is the first XL. I'll pop out a little bit further so you can get the whole box in. The first XL edition of the Fanhome range, and it is the USS Enterprise F as it appeared in Star Trek Picard, the final season of Star Trek Picard. So this is something I've been after for waiting for quite a while. I did pick up in my own frustration and not knowing whether or not I'd ever get or see a larger version of this. The sort of standard Eagle Moss version, which is like that big, literally, it's like as big as that logo. And talking of that logo, as we look at the packaging, you can see that unlike the standard editions, this version is embossed. So the gold writing there on the logo is actually embossed. It's also got more of a metallic foil effect, so you can see that as the light hits it and bounces around on it. So that's very nice. Bit of premium luxury. There's the model ship itself, the USS Enterprise F, as we see there. There's the Enterprise there. You can see the top view as it warps through. Nothing on the back really, just words and licensing agreements and information. This is all the proverbial good stuff. And as there is no more proverbial good stuff, using the magic of YouTube, I'm now going to get it out of the box and onto its stand. And here we have the USS Enterprise F, flagship of the Federation, out of the box in its stand. And I have to say, first impressions, fantastic ship. Before we look at the fantastic ship, we do get the Star Trek official magazine that comes with it, which gives us some nice detailing around the Enterprise. Again, partially for copyright, partially because if you do want to know what's inside it, then by all means sign up and get them and support the range that way. But there you can see how you assemble the stand. Here's some of the key information pertaining to the Odyssey class starship, and it was acting Captain Admiral Shelby who took the ship out. And there it is from the front. I think it's one of the most interesting Enterprise designs. There you go, you can see the contents. I'll give you a little bit of a sense of what you can see here. I'll pull out, in fact, a little bit more so you get a better sense of the extent of what's in these magazines. Again, Fanhome didn't really need to pursue these magazines. I'm sure they're a pain to pull together and get someone to have oversight of. Some nice concept work showing the lineage of the starships. Great. I mean, there's just so much in it. If you're an actual Star Trek fan and you want to read about these things, it really is a degree of added value. I mean, I know the ships are quite pricey, but they could be pricey with no magazine, and you'd still be paying the same price. So the fact that you get this magazine included with the price, I think, is pretty good going and not to be sniffed at. So what do we think of the ship itself? Well, let's take a nice close look at it as we rotate it round. Out of hand to start with, and then we'll get a bit closer. So you can see that detailing is the Federation livery. And again, I'm just going to go slowly round before I get the ship in hand. There is a lot of window detailing there, and until I get it a bit closer, I don't want to make a judgment about how many of them have missed and how many of them have not missed in terms of the deco. But the actual detailing on both the top of the saucer section where the bridge is, over that neck area there, all of that looks fantastic. I'll move it down a tad so you can also see the rear end there of the ship. We'll zooch around a bit. You can see the nacelles. And again, we've got the translucent plastic making up the bussard collectors and the warp section of the nacelles. And so, yeah, all in all, I think this looks fantastic. I'll also comment on the design of the stand. As always is the case, the center of gravity of the ship is such that it makes sense to position it over to the right of the stand or to the back of the stand, so that the ship is held effectively. Those of you who've been watching reviews of my Star Trek collections dating back to the Eaglemoss range will know that sometimes these pinch a bit and they're not the most effective stands. This is nicely designed. You'll see it again in a second. In fact, I'll do it now. As I take it out of the stand, you can see that it's nicely designed to make life easier for inserting the saucer section, and you'll see that when I put it back there in a bit. So let's take the ship in hand and have a nice up close and personal. And I'm going to see if I can just get a nicer... There we go. So here is the surface detailing of the USS Enterprise NCC 1701F. And it's hard to... I'm going to sort of go out on a limb here, and it says it and say it looks to me more like, rather than have indentations, they've literally just tamper-graphed the windows onto the hull, which I can only celebrate because I think I've said in the past it would just be so much easier not to put the indentations in, because then you can't miss them. Just put them on and you're going to be as close to as best you can ever do it as you can. You can see the escape pods there around the rim there. You've got the phaser strips clearly detailed. You've got a bridge area there. Again, the levels of detail. There's the warp. I think that's the 4 warp core there that run through. I think that's right. I think I remember hearing that was the case for this design. I think this is a shuttle bay area here. You can see the registration there. We move along the back of the ship. And as I recall, and again, I may be making this up, so if I am, correct me in the comments down below. But I think this is supposed to be a detachable auxiliary vessel of some description, not like a captain's yacht, but something else. I may be making that up, but I'm sure I read or saw something about that somewhere. So if I am right, can someone just confirm that for me in the comments? I'm sure it'll tell me in the magazine, but I just think it would be cool to get one of you guys to confirm that for me. Again, we can see the nacelles here. The facade collects a very, very swooping design. I really, really like it. You've got the running lights there at the end. So again, very, very nicely detailed on the top. Now we shall take the beneath, and there again is the registry. You can see all of that nice detail there. You can see the deflector dish there, pulled out in blue and a sort of copper amber colour. So that's good. I mean, again, just from this angle, the detailing on the hull is really, it makes such a difference when you don't have those indentations being missed. The fact they're just tampering it straight on, long may they continue with that approach. I hope they don't revert back to that for the standard editions that we get moving forwards. Some of you may know this because you'll have them already, but that would be very frustrating. I wonder if that's an additional warp core there in the centre, surrounded again by what looks to be escape pods. We can travel along there a little more. Again, is that a ship? I don't know why I think it's a ship. If it is a ship, please tell me. Put me out of my misery. You can see the underside detailing of the nacelles there. The registry again on the struts going out to the side. Really nice. Really nice. And then of course let's take the all-important frontal view where we can see that intriguing design. Let's just move this out of the way so it doesn't cause us the intriguing design of the Enterprise, which I think is intriguing. One of the things I really like about it. And again, love that surface detail. Love it. Really, really love that. Hope you're all getting I hope you can get to see this as hope it's coming out online as well as it seems to be coming out in the camera. And then we have, as I say, we have this different sort of silhouette because we have a clear line through between the saucer section and the hull there, which I find fascinating. I love that design. It really intrigues me. I don't know if I'll be able to get a decent shot of that for the back end of the video. I will try. But I think it's a really, really lovely shot. I think they've done a really great job with this model. To be honest, and I'm being very honest, I was worried. I was worried they were going to blow it when it came to the XLs. I love that we get the United Federation of Planets symbol there, but they haven't. It seems to be, and I just wonder if there's continuity of those coming through the other side. No, that's me asking too much. But I think they've really done an exceptionally good job here. I really, really think they have. Let me position this back into the cradle. Again, you can see how easily it slides in. No grief, no hassle, no complications at all. So I'm really pleased. I'm really, really pleased. I'm really pleased it wasn't damaged. But I really think this has come out as an absolutely banging iteration of the Enterprise F. And I'm really looking forward to getting some photos of it against a starscape for the back end of this video. I think it really looks great. Have you joined the Fanhome subscription? Did you manage to pick this up as a standalone item? I don't think it would have. I don't think I could have done it. I think well, I didn't do it, did I? My nerves gave out. So I absolutely went for the safer option of getting the subscription. And I am glad because, you know, a tin Raktajino mug, not everyone's got one of them, I'll tell you that now. But I have to say I'm so pleased that I've got this in my collection. It really is beautiful. I think they've done such a superb job with it. I'm going to now have to try and make space. I had such a perfect balance on my shelf with all my Enterprises, and just managed to squeeze in the sort of really tiny one. But now I've got this, I need to rethink the display. But that's the fun of it, isn't it? Surely, must be. Do let me know whether you think this is a good model or not. Let me know if it falls short in any way that you can identify. As I say, I'm not an on-screen aficionado of these. I just really like the model. So I get that if there is something that is slightly not accurate, that might really boil someone's bolts. And if that's the case, I totally understand. But do let me know down in the comments, because I always read them and I do find it really fascinating where people with far greater knowledge than I about the actual ships can comment with confidence about what may or may not be right or wrong with any particular model. So yeah, please by all means do that. It just remains for me to thank you for sticking with me for the last 15 or so minutes. You've been fantastic as an audience. If you've enjoyed looking at this ship and want to look at others, please do drop a completely free subscription to the channel. I am trying to get to my next subscriber milestone, so that will absolutely help me out. But of course, there's no obligation to watch all the content. But if you're into Star Trek, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Doctor Who, Battlestar Galactica, all sorts of things, then all sorts of things are on this channel. So have a nosy about. You might see something else that takes your fancy. Otherwise, totally appreciate you just being here for this video. In which case, I'd really appreciate it if you could just drop a like to this particular video, and that would be in and of itself fantastic. As I say, thanks for sticking around for the last 15 or so minutes. I have been the Triple TC. That is the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been a wonderful audience, and this has been the USS Enterprise NCC 1701F from the Fanhome official Star Trek Starships collection. I very much look forward to seeing you in a future, or indeed a past, video. And it just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care, and one to beam up.